Thanks, Gregor. Evening, Paul. What's going to take to dig yourselves out of this rut, Paul?
Well, when you get into a tough situation like this, and then like there's not a whole lot of things that are easy for you. I mean, I think we touched three of the four. Um, either on our stick, off our stick, and onto theirs. You're battling it. So you've got to put yourself in that mental place that you can have good things happen and not fear the worst when you get out in the ice and be afraid to make the play, to make the mistake. We had some pucks that I think we had a hard time moving, had a hard time handling, but for the most part, I mean, the effort there, they're fighting there, they're trying to do the right things. It's just not rolling for you. So you just got to keep that faith and keep the faith in what you're doing and how hard you're working.
We'll go next to Scott Billick from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks, Gregor. And Paul, does that one sting a little bit more than the previous five, just because you held two?
Yeah, because you get to 3-1 and you're feeling good about your game, and normally there's enough positive feeling on the bench that one bad thing goes on you, you'll be able to hold on. So even coming out into the third, at 3, you're not dejected by it. They're going a little better. That's a tougher one for sure.
We'll go next to Murat Atesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Thanks, Gregor. Hi, Paul. After Wednesday's game, it seemed that there were some process things to point out to and like, and maybe you were leaning on that as a positive to build from. Do you still feel that those things are there, and what will you build from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part they're there. I mean, we have a little tougher time on our PK for sure, and that's been tough, and it's been good for us. I think we're going to get a real good PKer back for our next game. Hopefully that'll shore that area up for us a little bit. I think we'll be able to move some pieces around and get to something that I think we'll have a little more success with.
We'll go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Winnipeg Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Paul, not to be overly critical, but if you look at the first goal, it's a routine miss on the boards. The second goal is a lazy change by your forwards that leads to an odd man rush. Your third goal is a whiff puck in front of the net. They almost take the lead with the final seconds on a give up back check from pretty much your entire team. And then the third period happens. So where is the progress?
Well, Jeff, we missed the puck on the first one. You're right. The second one wasn't a lazy change. It was a late change. The third goal is a power play goal, and I'm not too worried about where we are. I wouldn't panic yet.
We'll go next to Guillaume Lefrançois from La Presse. Go ahead, Guillaume.
Hi, Paul. It seems like a couple of the Montreal goals were on sort of weird bounces. Is that how you see them as well as a coach, or do you still see areas in those goals where there's things you could have done better as a team?
We made a tough change. I think, like I said, I think we touched or we're close to touching 3 of them. That they're on our stick and off our stick. The first one's picking one up off the boards. Real good player that's done it a million times, and it's just we couldn't get a handle on it. So I think we're tight right now. I think we're fighting the puck right now, as you do when you get into these situations. And we've got to get a good feeling going to get ourselves some confidence back to make those simpler plays happen for us.
Just a couple more for Coach. We'll go back to Scott Billick. Go ahead, Scott.
Thanks, Gregor. Paul, given the timing of the losing streak and just some of the play that's happened during it, you say not to panic yet, but fans are. I'm sure you can understand. I mean, when should they panic then, if not now?
We got a good team here, and we're going through a real struggle. So you can panic at your own time, but we won't here.
Final question to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Weaver.
Paul, how do you find that exhale when it comes to the offense and generating that confidence that you had for such a strong, portion of this season?
It's an excellent question, right? So as I said before, you've got to get something to go for you a little bit and relax. And sometimes it's a bit of a break, a little bit of a mental break, and come back and start fresh. So obviously there's no easy answers. Confidence is such a difficult thing to define. It's such a hard thing to capture. And at 3-1, it's starting to blossom a little bit for us, and we shot ourselves in the foot on that goal, and it got away from us.